You're watching the Live 5, where each show I invite 4 friends to discuss a topic you've submitted and a special guest to switch things up. Now today's special guest is a great one because they know the topic well. They've been on MTV, which makes this topic reality TV. Let me go see what they have to say.
Hey y'all, it's your boy G-Kid. It is a Live 5 with Jada Boss. Let go.
I think that those shows are just so bad.
Okay, what's the difference between, I'm sorry to cut you off, but what's the difference between reality TV and SpongeBob?
Because we know that that's a cartoon.
So because it's animated.
No, not because it's animated, but it was derived from, it was a story written.
Okay, what's
right? And reality TV is marketed as reality
Like
TV.
people's actual
So
what about movies that are portraying?
they're marketed as film.
Yeah.
So
I see what you're saying
it
in the aspect of it's reality TV, but it's not real because
Okay,
that's what
fiction.
reality goes for.
Go ahead, Camilla.
I just feel like it's tricky because for me, like I have this thing where I'm like, this is trash TV, ooh, but I'm gonna just watch it for like 30 minutes real quick. I think that the problem is that it does kind of put the face, I think, of a lot of black culture and like a lot of black youth. It puts the face of it onto these people who are on this show and what they're talking about and how they're acting. And there are a lot of people who look to that for influence as well. It does exert a level of influence, and that's just undeniable. But I just don't like that it kind of represents one kind of aspect of our culture, of our community, that we're loud mouthed, we throw drinks at each other, don't have us in your restaurant because we're gonna tear it up. We like to fight each other. And I don't like that as far as the biggest shows, and maybe I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, the biggest shows in America that feature a black cast are these shows.
Nobody's forcing these African Americans to sit up here and fight another female over a man. Nobody's forcing these African Americans to dress the way they dress. Nobody's forcing these African Americans to now have a job and say, oh, I'm in the studio all day, but you haven't had a record that came out since when, and I don't even know who you are.
Right.
Nobody's forcing these African Americans for this show to be their only income when they know that they have to have, it's even been said, if you research it or you like really look it up, they have to have drama going on in their life that they have to like,
Yeah, it's a story.
certain stuff is staged. So they're willing to do that for money. So am I gonna feel sorry for black people putting themselves out on TV like that? Absolutely not, because you're choosing to do that.
Okay.
And you know what it's doing to the black community, and you don't care. And they don't care what type of example they're setting for the black youth. So no, they're not the victim.
Can't I say that by watching these shows, you are allowing them to create this content that is mostly negative, right? It's mostly negative.
Yeah.
So by supporting it, by watching it, by keeping those ratings up, you are perpetuating the stereotypes that so many people believe amongst our culture already. Number 2, it's taking jobs away from real actors that
That's
are really
okay.
trying to eat, right? That are
People with
struggling,
talent.
real talent, that are struggling, that work at a restaurant or at a job that they hate, and they would love to have an opportunity to be on TV.
Hold on, because they would be taking jobs from actors if there was content for real shows.
There is. About to say, you can twist that argument and
There's
say,
a lot of great television. I watch a lot.
Well, wait a minute. Let's think about the networks that broadcast reality TV. VH1, MTV at times, Oxygen, and these are not really necessarily Bravo. These are not necessarily networks that have real shows.
Can we define reality? Because like Survivor is reality TV to me.
Yeah, those are all reality.
Reality TV is turning into stage TV.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like a soap opera.
Like all of a sudden we're running into each other like, hey, girl, do you want to go? Like,
Yeah. My whole thing was, do you feel that shows can create better content than we would get from reality TV? Even though these are experiences that people are really going through, whether it's staged or not. This is still their life.
Yeah.
The ease of creating a reality TV, like we could all create one right now. We don't need any funding. We don't need anything to make a reality TV show. Whereas if you're creating a real television series, right? You need a team of writers. You need ideal people. You need actors. You need talented individuals in the room to make that a success.
To make your vision.
I mean, the reason that I'm troubled with it is because nothing is on TV that's not intentional. And so when you have shows that perhaps are on like BET, or just not popular, when you have those shows that are struggling, that are actually really good dramas, like have actual real life storylines, and we know it is actual actors who are just acting out a script, and they're not as popular as this trash. And that, don't get me wrong, it's like this cognitive dissonance thing. Like, I know it's messed up, but it's also entertaining. But when you have that imbalance of things that are not, they don't have any creative weight and like kind of, I want to say social responsibility, but I shouldn't. It's like TV should not be socially responsible. But when you have basically this trash that's held to, a standard, or is just consumed more than you have real dramas with real writers and real directors.
But is it our fault? Because they really do put all this stuff out, and we're only talking about the trash. But Chris had a good point. Not only reality is not only girls throwing drinks. It is the Survivors. It is the other shows.
The Amazing Race.
Well, nothing shows like that will last forever because of that.
Biggest Loser. I would consider that a reality TV.
Yeah, but these love and hip hop series and basketball wise, they will only let we're in a microwave society, so that stuff is going to be here today and gone tomorrow, and it's going to be.
I think there's going to be a
it's gonna be
version of it
replaced by
all the time.
Even before that, it was Flavor of Love.
Yeah, I'm sure
Flavor of Love was worse.
already. We'll get baseball wives. I put that in quotes because they're
They
never
already
wives.
Yeah, football wives.
They are never wives. You're so right about
That's another thing.
It's like that all are single
They were never wives and they aren't wives. Like, it's like, how
Like
do you
side
even name the show?
chicks.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's basketball,
Side
mostly side chicks. I'll say mostly. It's not a lot for side chicks, but mostly side chicks.
You gotta have that one wife to make
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, it's like you have one if you call it wives.
You got to have somebody fighting.
Why not call it basketball wife and side chicks?
Okay, so here's the situation. Let's go back to the influence. I do feel like it's an influence. I don't feel like any of us would argue that. It does influence people to a certain extent. It does change people's attitudes to a certain extent. But let's talk about, is it our fault as a consumer that this is what we have to watch at 10 o'clock,
Absolutely
8 o'clock?
not. Absolutely not.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because, and I'll use an example of when you go on Twitter and you see a tweet or a video that's ignorant, but it's funny.
Right.
You will retweet it or you will favorite it. You chose to do that. You chose to do that.
Or you'll watch it.
Or you'll watch
Play
it
the video.
and you'll play the video.
I mean, is World Star just as bad as reality TV?
I would say World Star is
Worse.
I would say it's worse because that's like the social media
We got World Star.
I don't do it.
I mean, I don't do it either. I don't really go on World Star like that either. But I see like World Star tweets, like, you know what I mean.
Right.
So, but we choose to be the influence, and I get that we don't support it, but if it's funny, if it's funny, I'm gonna laugh. Like,
Well, I think we also need to understand that majority of America likes drama, and there's a lot of people in America who aren't really directly affected by drama. So
Yeah.
maybe we're watching vicariously, saying, "Ooh, this is what I would do in that situation," because we don't have somebody
Yeah,
knocking on our
that's
door like,
true.
"Come outside."
Yeah.
It's our like daily dose of high school.
Or you wouldn't put yourself in those
Daily dose
situations.
of
Right. When you were in high school, I've never gotten in an altercation in high school. Everybody pretty much liked me. And I made myself likable because I didn't want no problems. But every time there was a fight, and I would get my phone out and be like, oh crap. And I would literally miss my class to go to that lunch and see that fight. It's not because I'm a messy person. It's because I liked to be entertained. I liked to be in the know. The point is, it's like, it's our daily dose of high school. It's our way of saying, okay, I can take myself out of these problems and really just be in somebody else's problems for a minute.
and what it comes
See what I'm
down
saying?
to is that it's no harm, no foul. I think. I mean, to go off of the daily dose of high school, I can turn on Housewives of Potomac.
He really likes it.
Why do you?
No, I don't like it. The reason why I say I'll turn.
He's a real fan.
No, I'm not. I just dabble into TV. Like,
Right.
if it's there, like, I'll see what it is. I also watch Swamp People. That's not, But
Yeah, I think if you're a TV watcher,
yeah, you'll just turn.
Are you a TV watcher?
I watch a lot of television.
But you just
Like,
don't watch
too
any
much. I
reality
don't touch
TV.
So I treat TV like I treat my music. There is
Okay.
way too many good options out there for me to choose the bad ones.
That's a good
Do you
Like, there's
listen
too
to
many
Future?
options.
Do you listen to Future?
No.
Okay, that's it.
I mean, I host one of my podcasts, so I
Yeah.
have to listen to it, but I won't add it to my phone. Like, it's just not my kind of music.
Okay, so
I
is
know
there-
I know what's for me, and I can look at something like this. I'm not the demographic for that. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and I can even look at it objectively and be like, oh, like Future is dope, but I'm not the demographic.
So wrapping up, should we advocate for reality TV? Should we add to their ratings? Should we leave it alone? Is it necessarily bad? Because a lot of people don't think that reality TV is bad. It's almost like when you go to McDonald's because it's quick and it's easy and you're already fed, but we know it's bad for the body.
I'm glad you used that analogy because that's what I was thinking. So, not to like downgrade the intelligence of people that watch reality TV, because my sister is like the smartest woman I know, and she loves reality TV. And I even asked her once, like, why does a woman as successful and smart and well educated as you, why do you watch this show? Like, and my mom too, like they will watch
because she gets to turn her brain off work.
And that's what she says. But like, I look at it like this: so people eat at McDonald's, like you said, because it's convenient, it's cheap. You know it's bad for you, but you'll eat there because it's convenient, it's cheap, it's quick, whatever, right? But and
eat too much,
it's
bad.
terrible, right? But if you could afford to eat, at I don't know, Cafe Zupas, I love that place. So I'll say Cafe Zupas, somewhere like that, right? You can afford to eat there every single day. I think most people would choose that. I would think if you could afford it, right? Mm-hmm. Same thing with like television. If your brain could afford thinking all the time and watching, so like a lot of shows I watch are pretty deep. Like I watch some comedies, like I watch Blackish, I love that show. But like a lot of the shows make you have to think that I watch, make you think in some way, even the comedies, right? And so some people's brain just can't afford that all the time. And they want that break where they could just watch something that's quick, easy to indulge and get out their system, right? But for me, it's just not my thing. Like I'd rather watch something that's gonna make my brain work in some way.
I've always been that way. So like Discovery, Health Check, like
I watch a lot of I watch SVU. Like I love.
I mean that's a go-to though. Like you watch it long unless you watch it.
I just like real stories, realistic. Like SVU is a realistic show without it being a reality TV.
I will say as well that like when it comes to what I consume when it comes to TV, I do like to watch better quality shows. So like I watch my Being Mary Jane, I watch all of Shonda Rhimes productions.
The ones with drama that aren't reality.
The ones with drama that were created that way. Like this is somebody who says I am a writer. Like this is what I went to school for. This is what I love to do, and I like to bring these storylines, like to add it to the canon that is my culture as well. Like I don't take it seriously. I know that I'm checking into mindless BS. But I just don't like the idea that somebody thinks this stuff is real. Like, I really just hope that people don't think that people really out here living like this and that it's okay to act like this, portray yourself as such. And I think that the dangerous risk of that is there are probably a lot of young people who think that is how they should be acting out here. That somehow that has some kind of social currency to be the loudest person in the room, be wrapped up in all this drama. I just really hope people aren't living like that, but I imagine that some people are looking up to it.
I think so, and it's not all bad. Like you have Chasing Destiny that's coming out with Kelly Rowland. Mm-hmm. Well, it did come out now. I don't think that's a bad reality TV show. We'll see. This is the first season. I think you made a good point. Reality TV tends to change after the first season because they do look for ratings, and it is a business. So they're going to always look for what's going to give them more attention, including the people on the show, which was Reese's point. There's people that are going to say, I want my story to still be here, so they'll create storyline.
I do agree that, I absolutely 100% agree that it can affect a younger community, especially a younger Black, community or culture, I do agree with that 100%. I'm not arguing with that. But as far as like, it's portraying, I'm sorry, but no, I'm not sorry, that it's portraying Blacks to be loud or, I'm sorry, but a lot of Blacks are like that in reality.
Yeah,
sorry, they're
people
loud, they're ghetto, they don't know how to act in a restaurant,
I think
they don't know
what
how to
you're
sit down in a restaurant. Now, I think the problem is that they don't promote enough shows that actually show the Blacks who don't have 3 baby daddies, who actually do have a good job, who women that aren't loud, they carry themselves.
They're considered boring though. And I have to agree with Reese with this because I really don't feel like the people that are on the shows, even if they're staged, they have to come out of their face too far. It's kind of like something really easy. Well, just fight her. Oh, okay, no problem. You know what I mean? I didn't like the street knowledge anyway.
I understand that when I turn these shows on,
You have to
it's
make sure
it's mindless watching.
We love it, like you said, because it's full of drama. People love drama, and it's entertaining. I agree with that. To me, it's how you take it. I don't sit here and like rewind my whole life around. I kind of feel like the girls on Love and Hip Hop, and now I have to.
I agree with Carmela though. There is influence
like
though. There is influence.
But if you allow it,
if you
know
allow
what I'm saying?
it,
I feel like if you're a weak-minded, basic person, you're gonna let reality TV control the person that you are and who you're trying to be.
Or maybe even a very young person as well.
Yeah,
There may be a little 17-year-old girl thinking that if I dress like this and if I go to these places, I might come
That's
out
why
wrong.
those little kids be having
I agree with
7,000
that.
followers on Instagram.
I agree with that.
I think one of the big things that you said is that we try to watch these things to see somebody else's life. Now, what does our special guest think? Well, we go to Brandon Nelson in the hot seat.
All right, well, since the last time I talked to Jada Boss, I've been on 5 seasons of The Challenge, formerly the Real World Road Rules Challenge. Now it's just called The Challenge. They've switched up the format so much. But in that, I've learned a lot, got a lot of experience, been able to travel the world, a lot of sponsorship, a lot of events, a lot of hosting things. And but the biggest thing that I want to get across is the things you don't see, because in editing, you can make up a story from whatever you want. It's like a collage. You take a lot of different things, you put it together, you make the story that you want to be seen. With my show on The Challenge, it is what it is. We're competing for money. It's not scripted at all. I get asked that question all the time. The Challenge is not scripted one bit. The craziness that you see is what it is. Because we are all competitive, we are going to act a little crazy, and we do drink way too much. But there's a lot of things that get thrown out that do add to the story. So you think they develop characters is what they do with the collage, and they can put audio on a visual and make it like that happen at that time. But I watch reality shows so much differently now that I know how it works. And I also was on Nat Geo's Brain Games, which is totally scripted. The science behind it is there, the facts are there, but they set up these scenes just to prove their point. So I get that part of it. I also was on Mystery Diners on Food Network, totally scripted. Basically, it's just a ploy for a failing diner or restaurant to get publicity. So they set up these crazy scenarios where somebody's stealing kegs of beer at the back and the owner claims he doesn't know, so they have security cameras and they go catch him, and it's this big dramatic thing, and it's all BS. Everybody's paid to be there. But some of the new reality genres that I'm seeing aren't reality at all. People, what was I going to say? My analogy was going to be, the only reason that people go to the racetrack is they're waiting for the crash, and that's it. But like with ours, it's just crash after crash after crash on Love and Hip Hop, and what's the other one? There's some other stupid shows, and most of it, I believe, VH1's turning to BET, or what white people perceive BET to be, because they don't even watch it. But now they get VH1, and now it's like, oh yeah, it's probably the same stuff that we weren't missing on BET in the first place. And it's sad, to be honest. It's because they're getting a check, they overact for a check. I know some of it is scripted, because the way I watch the reality shows now, I know. Just think about this: if somebody is just going to surprise you and show up at your place, why is there a shot from inside your place when the door opens? You gotta watch it how I watch it, and then you'll know what's real and what's not. Now, I think like some of that beef is real, but a lot of it is set up. I mean, they might not tell them what to say, but sometimes there might be a producer in your ear going, yeah, so-and-so said this about you, and I think they're over here at this corner real quick, go on over there and holler at them, where the camera crews already set up. You know what I'm saying? So then, especially with the slow motion shots, they make them do that several times until they get the right shot, and it is just comical at times. But I mean, like I said, car crashes sell. That's why people go to the racetrack. They want to see the car crash, and they don't care who wins. They just want to see who the train wreck's gonna be. And it's I don't think it's good for us. I don't think it's because now everybody's aspiring to be that. Because I don't even know if you remember, they had this whole wave of girls trying to get pregnant so they could be on Teen Mom, and they were going to cancel the show, but then they thought, okay, well, here's a decent resolve. We can just bring back the girls we already had and just keep recasting them and see how their lives are going that way. We don't have to say, hey, we have an open casting for new pregnant teenagers. Like, I don't understand how you get the celebrity off of being somebody's side chick or being a B, C, D list rapper, and then you get on Love and Hip Hop or whatever else it is, and then the chick you messing with, now I see her hosting events in Vegas. For what? Like, why? I but now everybody thinks that's how you get on. You know, we live in this instant gratification generation, which I really can't argue with. I mean, get your check, because I'm a part of it, but at least on my show, it's not scripted. We're doing something, like it's a game show. Like, we're doing something every day to get a prize. On them, it's just following their lives. If that's, luckily it's not really their lives, I know that, most of it's scripted, but if that's their lives, then I feel sorry for them, and I feel bad for anybody that wants to try to be like them.
Well, you know what we think. We want to hear what you think. Like, comment, and share, and you can hashtag the Live 5 to get involved in the conversation, as well as submit a topic. We'll see you on the next show.